Welcome to Ginvo POS, the point-of-sale environment integrated directly into the Ginvo business management platform. Ginvo POS is designed to give employees a fast and simple sales interface while keeping products, payments, customers, employees, stock, and business information connected in one system. The Ginvo POS interface is divided into several important areas. At the top we have the main header. On the left side we have the primary POS navigation and product controls. In the center is the main working area, where products, categories, tables, orders, or other POS information are displayed. On the right side we have the current order and checkout area. And at the bottom, the footer provides additional information and system controls. On the left side of Ginvo POS, products can be added quickly to the current sale using a 3-column selection system. The first column contains the main product categories. When the cashier selects a category, the second column is automatically updated with the available subcategories. After selecting a subcategory, the third column displays the products that belong to that subcategory. The cashier can then simply select the required product, and it is immediately added to the active sale. This 3-step structure, category, subcategory, and product, makes it possible to navigate large product lists quickly without searching through every item. At the top of the Ginvo POS screen, the header provides quick access to the main controls and information required during daily operation. Starting from the left, the first button opens or closes the left product navigation sidebar. This allows the cashier to hide the category area when more screen space is needed, or open it again for quick product selection. Next is the Ginvo logo, followed by a direct link to the main Ginvo homepage. A little left of the center, the POS settings button is displayed when the terminal is operating in service mode. This gives authorized users access to the POS configuration functions available for that mode. In the center of the header, the system displays the name of the currently logged-in cashier. This makes it immediately clear which employee is operating the POS. A little to the right of the center is the X and Z reports button. This provides access to the fiscal or sales reporting functions available for the POS. Continuing to the right, the envelope icon opens the integrated Ginvo Live messaging system. This is part of the Ginvo all-in-one platform and allows employees to communicate directly with each other from within the system. Next is the notification indicator. It shows the number of available notifications. The full notification details can be reviewed from the main Ginvo dashboard. Beside the notifications is the logged-in user's profile image. Selecting it provides access to the user information and profile functions. Next is the language section, where the user can see or change the active interface language. And finally, on the far right, the sidebar control opens or closes the right side POS action panel. On the right side of Ginvo POS, the sidebar provides fast access to operational functions used during the sale. At the top, the system can display information from a connected weighing scale. When products are sold by weight, the employee places the product on the scale, then selects the correct product from the category and product selection area. Ginvo automatically reads the weight from the compatible USB scale, calculates the price based on the product configuration, calculates the total amount, and adds the product directly to the current sale. The scale information can also be shown on the second customer display, so the customer can see the weight and calculated amount during the transaction. If the option, Use Tables, is activated in the POS settings, the table button becomes available. Selecting this button opens the floor plan window for the current location. The floor plan itself is managed from the Ginvo dashboard. A business can upload its own floor plan image and position editable, numbered tables directly on the plan. The table window gives employees a visual representation of the restaurant or hospitality location. Each table is clearly marked and can display its table number, the name of the waiter responsible for it, and the total amount that remains unpaid for that table. This gives the team a live overview of active tables directly from the floor plan. When a table is selected, its table number is displayed on the right side of the window header. The available table management buttons in the header are then enabled. From here, the employee can create an order for the selected table, review its existing orders, pay its outstanding orders, or mark the table as reserved. When the employee chooses order, the table window closes and the selected table becomes the active table in the POS. The employee can then use the normal product selection workflow to add products to the sale. When the table order is confirmed, all products currently added to the sale are registered as an order for the selected table number. After the table order is created, an order receipt is printed. This is an operational order receipt and is not the final VAT sales receipt. The main table receipt printer can be connected through USB. For mobile service, a compatible Bluetooth low-energy printer can also be used, allowing employees to work more freely around the location. If kitchen bar receipt is activated in the POS settings, Ginvo can automatically separate the order according to product type. Using LAN-connected printers, drink products can be sent directly to the bar printer, while food products are sent to the kitchen printer. This means the employee enters the order once, while Ginvo automatically sends the correct products to the correct preparation area. After the order is registered, the floor plan is updated automatically. The selected table now shows the current unpaid amount, helping employees immediately identify tables with active orders. To review what has already been ordered, the employee selects the table and opens its order details. The system displays the products and orders currently associated with that table. This makes it easy to check what has already been served, what remains unpaid, and which transactions belong to the selected table. When the customer is ready to pay, the employee selects the table and chooses Pay. The table's unpaid orders are prepared for payment. A Load Orders button then appears in the POS sidebar, indicating that orders are available for the selected table. Load Orders. Selecting Load Orders brings the unpaid products from the selected table back into the active POS sale. The employee can then proceed with the normal payment workflow. Ginvo also supports partial table payments. After loading the table order, the employee can remove products that are not being paid in the current transaction. Only the remaining selected products are then processed for payment. The products that were not paid remain attached to the table as unpaid items. This is useful when customers want to split a bill by product or when different guests at the same table want to pay separately. The remaining unpaid products can be loaded again later and paid in another transaction. The floor plan continues to display the outstanding unpaid amount until the complete table order has been settled. The table can also be marked as reserved. When the employee selects the reserve option, the table status changes from available to reserved. This immediately informs other colleagues that the table should not be assigned to another customer. When the reservation is no longer required, the table can be marked as available again. The floor plan is updated immediately so all employees see the current status. Directly below the table button is the Remove Table function. When a table is active in the POS, this button removes the table association from the current sale. The employee can then continue with a normal walk-in sale, or assign the transaction to a registered client instead. This makes it easy to switch between restaurant table service, regular counter sales, and customer account sales without restarting the transaction. If client management is activated in the POS settings, the client button becomes available. Selecting client opens the Ginvo customer window, where an existing customer can be found, selected, edited, or used for an order. At the top of the client window is a search field. The employee can search by entering at least 3 characters of the customer's name, or by entering the customer's unique client code. As the search is performed, matching customers are displayed for quick selection. Each customer can be assigned a unique code. This code provides much more than a simple customer reference. It can also be connected to physical identification methods used by the business. For example, the unique client code can be stored on an NFC card. In a hotel, the same NFC card used as the customer's room key can identify the guest at the POS. The employee simply reads the card and the correct customer account can be selected. Products and services can then be registered against that customer, allowing charges to be associated with the guest or room account. The same concept can be used with NFC bracelets. This is particularly useful in locations such as clubs, resorts, spas, saunas, wellness centers, swimming facilities, or other environments where customers do not want to carry cash, cards, or a phone. The customer receives an NFC bracelet when entering the location. During the visit, purchases can be registered against the customer account using the bracelet. The customer can then settle the outstanding balance when leaving. If the employee does not want to search, the complete client list can also be loaded. All registered customers are displayed in a scrollable list. This is useful for smaller customer databases or when the employee wants to browse the available accounts. Each customer in the list has its own set of management controls. From here, the employee can edit the customer, create a new order, review existing orders, or prepare unpaid orders for payment. The edit function allows authorized employees to update customer information. For POS operation, this can include details such as the customer name or unique customer code. This also allows an NFC identifier to be updated or replaced when required. A new customer can also be created directly from the client window. This means the employee does not need to leave the POS when a customer needs to be registered during a transaction. Once created, the new customer becomes available immediately for POS orders. Creating an order for a client follows almost the same workflow as creating an order for a restaurant table. The employee selects the customer and chooses order. The customer window closes, and the selected client becomes associated with the active POS transaction. The employee can then select categories, subcategories, and products as usual. When the order is registered, the products are stored as an order for that specific client instead of a table. Once registered, the order can follow the same configured printing workflow used elsewhere in the POS. Depending on the POS configuration, preparation receipts can be sent to the appropriate printers while the customer order remains unpaid until payment is completed. The View Orders function displays the orders registered for the selected client. This makes it possible to review what the customer has ordered, what has already been processed, and what remains unpaid. When the customer is ready to pay, the employee selects Pay Orders. The unpaid customer orders can then be loaded back into the POS payment area. The payment process can continue using the normal Ginvo POS checkout functions. Because orders can remain registered against the client, several purchases can be accumulated before payment. This is particularly useful for environments where the customer pays only once at the end of their visit. For example, A hotel guest can charge meals or services during their stay. A spa customer can make several purchases using an NFC bracelet. A club customer can order throughout the visit and settle the complete balance at the exit. If the function is activated in the POS settings, a buzzer number can be assigned when an order is created. This is useful for fast food restaurants, food courts, cafes, takeaway counters, and other businesses where customers wait for their order away from the counter. The employee prepares the order in the normal way and assigns the buzzer number before registering it. The number becomes associated with the order, helping staff identify which customer should be notified when preparation is complete. When the order is ready, the customer can be notified using the corresponding buzzer system. Directly below it, the Remove Client button removes the currently active client from the POS transaction. Once the active client is removed, the employee can continue with a normal anonymous sale. Select another client, or switch to a table-based transaction if table management is enabled. The next control in the right sidebar is the lock button. When the cashier selects lock, the POS screen is immediately locked and the active cashier is logged out of the register. At the same time, the customer-facing display is updated to indicate that this cash register is currently closed and waiting for a cashier to log in. This makes the register ready either for the same cashier to return or for another authorized cashier to take over. Each cashier has their own 4-digit PIN code. The PIN is assigned and managed by an authorized manager from the Ginvo dashboard. When the POS is locked, a numeric keypad is displayed. The cashier enters their 4-digit PIN to unlock the register. If the PIN is valid, the cashier is authenticated and the POS becomes ready to use again. The register is not limited to the cashier who originally locked it. Another authorized cashier can enter their own PIN and take over the POS. Ginvo then updates the active cashier information so that new activity is associated with the employee who is currently using the register. When the register is locked, the second customer display is updated automatically. Instead of displaying an active transaction, it can indicate that the cash register is closed or waiting for a cashier. When a cashier successfully logs back in, the customer display returns to the normal operational state. In addition to the cashier login, Ginvo POS also includes employee presence logging. The Log Presence button is located in the footer. Before starting sales, the cashier should first register that they are present and working at the location. The button status makes the cashier's presence immediately visible. When the button is red, the cashier has not yet logged their presence for the current work period. Once presence has been registered successfully, the button changes to green. This confirms that the cashier is currently logged at work. Selecting Log Presence opens the Presence window. The window displays the address of the configured business location, helping the employee confirm where their work session is being registered. A login button is then available to start the employee's presence session. The cashier confirms the location and selects the login option. Ginvo records the employee presence and updates the POS immediately. The presence button changes from red to green, confirming that the cashier is ready to begin working. When the cashier is already logged in, the same presence area can be used to view the details of the active work session. This allows the employee to check information related to their current presence log. When the screen is locked, the active cashier session is cleared from the POS. This ensures that the next person using the register must authenticate with their own PIN. When the same cashier logs back in, or when another cashier logs in, Ginvo reloads the relevant presence information for that employee. The presence button is then updated automatically. If the same cashier returns and already has a valid active presence log, The system recognizes it and restores the green present status automatically. They do not need to create another work login unnecessarily. If another cashier takes over the register, the POS loads the present state belonging to that employee. If they are already logged at work, the button appears green. If they have not yet registered their presence, the button appears red and they can log in before beginning sales. Presence logs are handled across a 24-hour work window. This is important for businesses operating late at night, where an employee's shift may continue after midnight. The present state is therefore not simply reset at the change of the calendar day. The 24-hour window allows late-night shifts to continue without incorrectly interrupting the employee's active work session. When an FTM unit is configured for the location, employee presence information is also transmitted to the FTM as part of the registered POS activity. This connects the cashier's work presence information with the fiscal environment being used at the location. The presence records are also securely stored in Ginvo, giving managers access to a complete history from the Ginvo dashboard. Authorized managers can review employee presence records at any time from the Ginvo dashboard. The reports provide a historical overview of when employees registered their presence and the work sessions recorded for each cashier. This means presence information is not limited to the POS terminal. It becomes part of the company's centralized employee and operational reporting. The next control in the right sidebar is Open Drawer. This function allows the cash drawer to be opened manually when required, without processing a sale. For security, manually opening the drawer requires a dedicated PIN code. The drawer PIN is assigned specifically to the POS unit. It is not linked to the individual cashier. This means each cash register can have its own security code for manual drawer access, managed separately from the cashier's personal login PIN. When the employee selects Open Drawer, Ginvo displays a secure PIN entry screen. The authorized POS drawer code must be entered before the command is accepted. After the correct PIN is entered, Ginvo sends the command to the POS unit and the connected cash drawer opens. This provides controlled access for situations such as preparing change, checking the drawer, or other authorized cash handling operations. If the entered PIN is incorrect, the drawer remains closed. This prevents manual drawer access without the correct POS-specific authorization. Ginvo therefore uses two separate PIN concepts. The cashier's 4-digit PIN identifies the employee and is used to unlock the POS. The cash drawer PIN belongs to the POS unit itself and authorizes manual drawer opening. When the sale is ready to be completed, the cashier selects the payment button. This opens the payment window, where the available payment methods are displayed according to the configuration of the POS unit. Cash payment is always available. If card payments are activated in the POS settings, the card option is displayed as well. When cash is selected, the payment is registered immediately in Ginvo POS. If an FTM unit is connected and active for the location, the fiscal transaction is also sent to the FTM. After the transaction has been registered successfully, the receipt is printed automatically and the cash drawer opens. When card is selected, Ginvo POS communicates with the dedicated payment terminal. The transaction amount is sent directly from the POS to the card reader, so the cashier does not need to enter the amount manually on the terminal. The customer then completes the payment using the card reader. If multiple payment terminals are configured and terminal selection is enabled in the POS settings, an additional selection area is displayed on the payment page. The cashier can choose which card terminal should process the transaction. This is useful for locations with several tills, mobile terminals, or multiple payment points. After selecting the required terminal, the cashier presses Pay Card. Ginvo sends the payment transaction directly to that selected card reader. The POS then waits for the result from the terminal. The customer can pay using the methods supported by the connected payment terminal. Once the card reader confirms that the transaction has been completed successfully, Ginvo automatically completes the POS payment. After successful confirmation from the payment terminal, the customer receipt is printed automatically. The receipt clearly specifies the payment method used for the transaction. If the sale is processed through an FTM environment, the corresponding fiscal information and fiscal code are also included on the receipt. The same receipt logic applies to cash transactions. The payment method is clearly recorded, while fiscal information is added where an FTM is being used. If a card transaction has already been sent to a payment terminal but needs to be stopped, the cashier can use Cancel Payment. This cancels the active terminal transaction before another payment method is selected. After the active terminal transaction has been cancelled, the cashier can choose a different payment method. For example, if the customer decides not to pay by card, the transaction can be cancelled on the terminal and completed as a cash payment instead. At the bottom of the POS screen, the footer provides quick access to frequently used functions. Starting from the left, the first icon opens the theme selector. The theme selector allows the cashier to change the visual appearance of Ginvo POS. This makes it possible to adapt the interface to the working environment or the employee's preference. Once selected, the chosen theme is applied to the POS interface. Next is the Log Presence button. This is used by the active cashier to register their presence at work. As explained earlier, red indicates that the cashier is not currently logged at work, while green confirms an active presence registration. The presence status is automatically updated whenever the active cashier changes. On the right side of the footer is the Receipts button. This provides direct access to previously completed POS sales. Selecting Receipts opens the receipt history, allowing authorized users to review previous transactions. The receipt list provides an overview of completed sales. From here, the cashier or manager can open an individual transaction and review the details of the original sale. This makes it easy to locate previous transactions without leaving the POS. Opening a receipt displays the information recorded for that sale, including the products, amounts, payment details, and relevant fiscal information where applicable. If the customer requires another copy, an existing receipt can be printed again. The reprint function reproduces the receipt without creating a new sale. Authorized users can also initiate a refund from the sales receipt history. The original transaction is selected first, allowing Ginvo to associate the refund with the correct sale. The refund process can then be completed according to the configured POS and fiscal workflow. Cash register reporting is managed separately from the receipt history. In the header, the X and Z Reports button provides access to the POS reporting functions. An X report provides a view of the current register activity without closing the reporting period. It allows authorized users to inspect the current sales position while the POS continues operating. The Z report is used as part of the register closing and reporting workflow. It provides the finalized reporting information for the relevant POS period, according to the configured system. From the X and Z Reports area, authorized users can manage the reports associated with the POS. Previous reports can be reviewed from the same reporting environment, giving management a structured history of register activity. Ginvo POS also includes a dedicated training mode. This mode allows employees to practice the complete sales workflow without treating the transaction as a normal live sale. Training mode is activated from the Ginvo dashboard, allowing managers to control when the POS is being used for training purposes. Cashiers can then practice selecting products, creating orders, using payment workflows, and learning the POS interface in a controlled environment. When an FTM unit is used, training transactions can still be transmitted through the configured fiscal workflow. However, these transactions are clearly marked as training activity. The same distinction is preserved inside Ginvo. So training transactions can be identified separately from normal operational sales. Training activity is stored in the Ginvo reporting system. Managers can later review these transactions from the dashboard and distinguish training operations from real sales. This makes training mode useful for onboarding new employees, demonstrating the POS, or testing operational procedures without confusing training activity with normal business transactions. Ginvo POS also includes a protected service mode. Service mode is intended for reviewing and managing the configuration of the POS unit. This separates technical and configuration functions from the normal cashier interface. To enter service mode, a dedicated PIN code is required. This PIN is specifically used for service access and is separate from the cashier login PIN. Only a user with the correct service PIN can enter the protected configuration area. After successful authentication, service mode provides access to the POS settings. From here, authorized personnel can review the configuration used by that POS installation. This can include settings related to tables, client functions, payment terminals, printers, customer displays, kitchen and bar receipts, scales, and other POS options available for the installation. Once configuration or review is complete, service mode can be closed and the terminal returns to the normal cashier environment. This keeps technical settings protected while allowing the POS to remain simple for everyday users. Ginvo POS brings together the complete point-of-sale workflow in one connected environment. From fast product selection, weighted products and customer displays, to restaurant tables, client accounts, NFC identification, kitchen and bar printing, payments, receipts, refunds, employee presence and fiscal reporting. Cashiers can work securely with individual PIN codes, while managers maintain control through the Ginvo dashboard. Training mode helps new employees learn the system, while protected service mode provides controlled access to POS configuration. When FTM is used, Ginvo integrates POS activity, presence information and fiscal reporting into the required workflow, while keeping reports available for later review. Whether the business is a restaurant, shop, hotel, club, spa, wellness center, takeaway location or another customer service environment, Ginvo POS is designed to adapt to the way the business works. And because Ginvo POS is part of the wider Ginvo platform, sales do not operate in isolation. Products, customers, employees, stock, accounting, reporting and business operations can all remain connected within one system.